the audience?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's no introduction to this. The title is Acme versus whatever is Coyote versus Acme
Hashtag
is
cooked.
Coyote versus Acme is hashtag cooked. I'm gonna be honest. This is the first time like this is not my first time of learning about this movie, but every time I hear about it, it always reverts back to me feeling like it's my first time because I only hear about this when other people are complaining about how this movie is getting screwed over time and time again, and I'm just like, and I'm over here working on my comic, which is Chimera Island. It's about a hidden island striving to find balance. Go read it in the description below. Hashtag let's
Nice
go.
pitch.
Yeah, let's go. Um, and the I think out of the two of us, oh yeah, and I'm also with Dope Man, three Dope Man 5G,
Matt. You call me
Matt.
Matt sometimes also.
Yeah, so I like the only person I hear telling me what's going on with this movie is Matt, and I'm like, out of
But
both
to be
of us,
fair,
this feels like
let me
something that
let me
I
make
would
something
be.
clear about myself.
Yeah,
Let me
okay.
make something clear about myself. I don't give a fuck about this movie that much. I don't care. But the decisions that are being made about this movie makes me laugh, so I like to tell Mason to make him laugh.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
you
because
know what? I think talking about Warner Bros. Discovery is like punching down, because they're acting like a bunch of word. I won't say, but I'll give you a hint on the word. All right, it starts with an R, and it's something a psychiatrist called me in sixth grade. So make a guess what word I'm talking about here.
they're being
Um,
slow in French.
yeah, yeah, they're being French, very French. They're being very Italian about the way they're handling this movie. Um, so yeah, we found an article that I guess I'm just gonna read on stream, and you guys can follow along. If it's boring, don't watch,
Yeah, I
and
don't.
if it's
Yeah.
funny, watch.
Okay. We're just
Okay,
gonna
all
give
right. So
our
the title,
commentary of what's going on while you guys are trapped looking at me working on this comic because I'm a comic guy first and a YouTuber second as of recording of this video. We don't know how what the future holds. So
yeah, we could be YouTuber guys now, but
yeah.
here's the thing: if we're YouTuber guys for more than 5 years, I will kill myself on stream. Anyway,
Okay.
so this this yeah.
So he's gonna join the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a Suicide Squad guy. Anyway, though, this article is called "The Final Days of Coyote versus Acme: Offers, Rejections, and a Roadrunner Race Against Time Exclusive." I don't like that title, but fuck it.
Race Against Time exclusive.
Yeah,
What they're gonna put it on
yeah.
like Peacock or something or Tubi?
No, no. I guess to summarize this article real quick before I read it, I guess what's happening is that they just want to delete it and just leave it alone. I don't even
Mm-hmm.
think they want the tax write off on it. I think they just want to get rid of it.
I,
From what I'm gathering with this article.
Respectable, I guess.
I suppose, but wasting like how much money they wasted like 50 million on it. I don't know. Anyway, though,
It's
in
weird.
early January, Coyote versus Acme producer Chris DeFaria, or whatever the fuck his name is,
Mm-hmm.
got a startling phone call from a Warner Bros. Executive. They just want this to get behind them. The executive told DeFaria they want to close the books. And the words of the Roadrunner, me, that's come on. You're not a comedian. You're a fucking journalist.
This feels so weird. Like, why did they even think this was a bad idea? Were they trying to like renew some licenses, or was this like
No,
some
so
niece's idea? And they're like, "Yeah, well, you'll totally be a director." And then like,
the 15-year-old niece.
yeah, and like, and then like when like
You know what?
that
Don't
niece
worry.
got like a divorce, got a divorce or whatever, and then they just wanted to cut ties and like, okay, we don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah, some executives' niece, who got divorced, and their kid really likes Roadrunner and the Coyote thing. Had an idea about making this movie, and it got made. And then they remembered, like, oh man, we're listening to a woman. Maybe we shouldn't make this
Oh my
movie
gosh.
anymore.
Hey,
Well, that's what
you can't
happens in Hollywood. What the fuck do
that
you
happens in
expect?
Hollywood, but it hey, listen. It happens in Hollywood, but it shouldn't happen. Wink.
Maybe, I don't know. We'll we'll see. We'll see by the end of this article if it should or shouldn't happen. Uh,
We'll see
so
if this fifty million dollars down the drain shouldn't happen.
Yeah, yeah. All right. The movie, a live-action animated hybrid that stars Will Forte and the Looney Tunes gang, has been marked for demolition November
Hmm.
9th. What you're gonna find about me, by the way, is that I can't read. Sorry.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah, I usually am the one reading, but I can't read either. I literally cannot do last names, so that's fine.
yeah, we're really bad at reading. Funny enough, for comic authors, we're horrible at reading.
Yeah, because we write, we don't read.
Our scripts are riddled with grammar. Anyway, though, but following the announcement that the movie would be canceled, a firestorm of outrage and indignation erupted. It was heightened by a friends and family screening that had already been planned before the cancellation announcement was made. The screening brought more goodwill and an even louder public outcry. What was so exciting, this is somebody saying something. What was so exciting was that it felt like the film captured the voice of the Looney Tunes that we love in a way none other than the feature versions have ever done. Paul Shear, who was at a screening, told The Rap, the last movie to feature the characters with 2021 Space Jam: A New Legacy, which was pillaged by critics and lost to money. Now, do people actually give a fuck about Looney Tunes that much? I just need to ask that question
I
for
mean, people care
you know.
I mean, if there's Disney adults that really care about fictional characters that are over 100 years right now, I'm pretty sure it's not impossible for people to fawn over
Okay,
brands. You know,
follow up question. Follow up question. Do you think Warner Bros gives a fuck about Looney Tunes this much?
no, why would they? Like, I mean, especially with the new with the new people. I know, like, in an ideally, companies should care about the IPs that they hold if it brings them money. But like that's all.
Okay,
It-
in a gayer world, they would care about their property.
yeah, like if
Okay,
I don't know how people can look at the way that the industry treats all this stuff, all this IP and all these creative endeavors and how they're so ready to toss it on the wayside. I cannot understand how people cannot be overly cynical in this sense of, yeah, why wouldn't they do that? Oh, it's not
yeah,
making them money. I mean, but it's making us happy. But if it's making us happy, it is not making them money. Something doesn't add up. Because if it made
well,
them, something's got to add up. Okay, you go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Sorry. I just really want to get this point off, because I feel like, this is a thing that is like a cultural thing. Culturally, back in the day, being cynical was like it was a little more like you had to be cynical. You know what I mean? I feel like you had to be cynical to survive.
Hmm.
Now there's this weird push to like force everybody into being optimistic. And I'll explain that point by saying like people are expecting the best out of people at all times. Like no one can be an asshole, no one can be even a little bit negative anymore. You know what I mean?
It kind of,
And
yeah.
yeah, and
That kind of
especially
reminds me of
now,
like the British version of The Office versus the American version of The Office, in a
right?
way, or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. The first season of the English Office was mean, and it was funny when it was mean. But I think people hated the show a lot because it was mean, so they had to make it like nice.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? They had to make it like really like everyone had to be cool to each other and shit. Like everyone had to be like friendly and shit. Which it kind of worked out because The Office is not like a terrible show. Like it's well written. It's pretty funny
I still
sometimes.
haven't watched
But
it. That's what I've heard.
yeah, watch it. It's honestly not a bad show. But the first season was like really mean, and everyone was really like not cool with it. So they made it like really nice and shit. And it works. It works when it's like nice or whatever. But it's kind of funnier when it was season one when they're being mean and shit. Anyway though,
Back
back
to
to the
people who
article.
don't
Just skip a
care.
couple things. Yeah, back to people who don't care. Um, Following the death and I skipped a couple things. Following the death and potential resurrection of Coyote versus Acme, there were screenings for interested parties. According to several people familiar with the situation, Netflix, Amazon, and Paramount, which they're about to merge with them, screened the movie, which was received well, and submitted handsome offers. Paramount even proposed a theatrical release component to their acquisition of Coyote versus Acme that would allow for Warner Bros. To save face, and more importantly, let the audiences see the movie the way it was meant to be experienced. Warner Bros. Did not respond to the request for comment. from the rep. But Warner Bros. Would 35 to 40 million on the tax write down, wanted something in the ballpark of 75 to 80 million from a buyer. And what's more, they wouldn't allow the interested studios to counter Warner Bros. Offer. It was a take it or leave it situation. One that the other studios didn't know that they were entering. An insider told the rep. So basically, what was happening, to explain to people all this industry jargon, is basically they didn't want to sell the movie in the first place. They wanted to delete it. They just did this shit just so they could tell the audience, oh, people didn't want to buy the movie. Oh, that sucks. This movie sucks.
This
Oh, now we have to delete it. Oh no.
that is insane. Wait, hold up. Let me
It's,
see. Okay.
they're denying free money, literally. Like they're like, no. Why would we?
Okay, so this goes back to
Yeah.
my original idea of what's happening. Um this was somebody's niece's idea, and family fallout happened, and they don't want to be reminded of the family fallout, so they want to get rid of it.
This was for sure. This was definitely for sure an outside party's idea to let the movie stay, but they knew, like the executives knew they're not gonna sell this movie. They knew from the beginning. Otherwise, they would have just gave it to fucking Paramount, which they're
Mhm.
merging with. Like they would have gave it to the fucking people they're fucking working with. Hell, they would have just released it in the first place if they gave a fuck that much. They want this movie to die. They want to get rid of this movie, and they didn't want to seem like jerks to the general public for some reason. I don't know why they give a fuck about that, but they do. They actually do care about that stuff. Like this public outcry shit is like important to them for some reason. Maybe because they're old and they don't like being yelled at or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, they don't give a fuck about this movie, and they want to get rid of it so badly. They want this movie gone. They don't want to fucking talk about this fucking movie anymore. And they have all these fucking nerds telling them like, "Oh, fucking no, you guys don't care about Looney Tunes." And what they want to say is, "Yeah, we don't give a fuck about Looney Tunes. Like, we want to sell you like reality shows now. Like, we don't give a fuck about Looney Tunes."
Oh
But
my
they can't
gosh,
say that.
yeah.
So they're doing all these fucking theatrics where they're wasting executives from other studios' time, which like I don't know why they're doing that. Like, you know what I mean? If I was a dude at Netflix, right,
Mhm.
and they called me up and like, hey, listen, we got this movie, and I liked the movie, and they wasted my time talking about like, oh, we actually want like fucking 80 million for this movie, I'd probably be pissed off. I'd probably be like, oh, I'm not working with them anymore because you wasted my time, and like I didn't know you were gonna fucking give me such a fucking large number that didn't make any sense because this movie is not worth that much. The movie's not worth $80 million. So like the fact that they even asked for that amount of money means that they were doing that just to fuck with people on that side. But they're doing it from the guise of a deal. And so, like, you have these executives who are like, oh, that's how deals go sometimes. Sometimes they, go through that way. So they don't look like total assholes. It's like, oh, they just didn't accept the deal. Oh, wow. Oh, now we have to delete the movie and everybody can't get paid for it. Oh, whoa. Sorry, guys. Oh, that's how that works sometimes. You know what I mean?
That is
It's
such a
like I said last time.
yeah.
It's like they play with imaginary money. Like this is imaginary money. Like
I
they don't
can
give a fuck. They can just do that.
Dude, I could already imagine how that went down. Like, hey, it was like, hey, I got this movie. It's like, okay, cool. This looks fine. How much do you want for it? I don't know, freaking 10 million. Yeah, we can do it. I mean, I'm sorry, 20 million. Oh yeah, sure. 50, I guess. Oh yeah, sure. Ah, I'm sorry. I guess there's something happened with the movie. The MP4 file
Oh,
got
sorry guys.
got the MP4 file got corrupted or something. I don't know.
Man,
Sorry.
imagine if I was like, Mason, I'm gonna give you a PS5, all right, and you and I know it's both worth $300. We
Uh
both
huh.
know that this PS5 is worth $300, and I came to you, I'm like, dude, it's actually like $10 million. I don't know what happened. Don't know what happened, dude. It's just worth $10 million, man.
This is
I don't understand it.
the
It's disrespectful to me.
this is $10 million. It's signed by the guy who created the original PlayStation. Buy it.
It's signed by the first Japanese dude to ever say Sony. Sorry, guys. Oh man.
Oh man.
All right. Skipping in this article, the executives skipped the screening. What made the situation even more appalling is that, according to a source close to the project, the four Warner Bros. Executives responsible for making the decision CEOs and co-chairpersons of Warner Bros. Motion Pictures Group, Michael DeLuca, Pam,
He's a
whatever the
D.
fuck her last name is, huh?
He's a D.
No, like D, like oh my god,
He's a D.
D like a D. But it would be funny if it was a D. That would make this even funnier. Um, anyway, though, also with Warner Bros. Pictures animation president Bill, whatever the fuck his last name is, something ethnic, and embattled CEO and president of Warner Bros. Discovery David Zaslav.
Yeah,
I will call him
Zaslav
David
or something like that.
Zaslav. Yeah, hadn't even seen the finished version of the movie. Zaslav never saw the movie at all. Luca and Pam saw a director's cut, and Bill, whatever the fuck his last name is, saw the first audience preview. Significantly, Coyote versus Acme was developed and greenlit by a previous regiment. Okay, so I guess you were kind of right.
Yeah,
Was
let's
this
go.
was yep. Way before they did the merger thing, and they're just like whatever. And anyway, the only executive that worked on the movie and that's still at the company is Jesse Ehrman. These executives who trumpet a filmmaker's first approach and have recently signed big deals with directors like Ryan Coogler and Paul Thomas Anderson, who conspicuously made their deals after the filmmaker-led backlash to Warner Bros. Broner Bros. Had subsided, were apparently ready to trash the movie they've never even watched. Um, I'll read this next part and I'll stop. Even so, the reason for Coyotes versus Acme's cancellation remains damnably unknown, even to those who made the movie. Publicly, Warner Bros. Blamed the decision on a shifting global strategy to focus on theater releases, and initially indicated it would take a tax write-off on the film, which was based off of a New York article by Ian Fraser in 1990. The problem, it seemed, was the movie was not strong enough for a theatrical release and didn't fit anyone's streaming strategy in the WBD universe. All right, stopping right there, translating all that for everyone listening, they want to get rid of the movie. That's all that was going on. Is that some fucking asshole before they merged made the decision to make this movie, and now they have to pay for it now. And now the current regimen is like getting fucking trashed for a movie they don't want to make. They
I,
had to finish off the movie because they already spent all too much money on it. It was already in the middle of being made or whatever. They spent too much money on it, and once it got finished, they got mad and they wanted to fucking get rid of it. Once they found out they could do tax write offs on it, they wanted to get rid of it, and
mhm.
they got yelled at, and now they still want to get rid of it, and they're trying to find ways to get rid of it without looking like assholes.
Okay. I know that we sound very, very cynical right now, because
Good.
I know because the obvious thing that I hear people say is, "What about the all the hands that touched this film, that loved this film, including the audience, that far exceeds the number of hands that touched the film? What about them? What about their efforts?
Um,
What are your thoughts on that?"
here's what I'll say. When you make any sort of content, especially video content of all types, you can't be tied to a product that isn't financed by you. If you are making something for somebody else, they have full rights to do whatever the fuck they want with it. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day. It does matter from a creative sense. It does matter. Like these executives are retarded. Oh, they can't say that, but fuck it, they are.
Slipped.
They're slow. They're slow.
Yeah.
For hiring these people and wasting their time like this. At the same time, they put $50 million into this movie. So once you put the money down and you don't like the product, I'm sorry, but that's how that works. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
it doesn't matter how good a chef cooks your meal if they give you a hamburger and you ask for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you're not gonna eat it. I'm sorry, that's just how that works on a more global level, I guess, or not a global level, but more of a higher level, I suppose. That's the best way I can explain it. I mean, like I feel bad for them. Like I do feel bad because it looks like a good movie. It looks like a funny enough movie, like it's something I could watch with my nephew or something. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But like, dude, like it just is what it is. Like these people don't want to make good movies; they want to make money. So they thought they were going to make money with this, and they didn't. Or actually, it seems like they didn't even know they were going to make money off this. It seems like they just had a contractual obligation to finish the film, and they did, and now they want to get rid of it. Um, I'm skipping through the article because I'm like, there's just all this bullshit.
What
There's
do you
really not enough.
like? What do you mean?
Um, I'll just summarize the next part of this. Is they talk about Batgirl or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Um, yeah,
Batgirl's
and
not
how
relevant anymore. We don't need to talk about her.
yeah.
It's like that. It's like
Basically,
that Toy Story
yeah.
meme. Like everybody's like that Toy Story meme. It's I don't want to play with you anymore. It's been talked to death.
Essentially,
Yeah,
essentially. Um,
that's the new cycle,
the
kids.
yeah, the Warner Bros. Guys were trying to basically, basically gaslight the filmmakers into thinking that they were gonna sell the movie. They're like, guys, listen, like on Tuesday at 3 p.m. we're gonna do this meeting with Netflix. And then the filmmakers would be like, "Hey, what happened to Tuesday at 3 p.m.?" And they're like, "Dude, why are you thinking about that? Like, dude, that's like fucking 5 years from now. Don't worry about that, dude.
Man,
Don't worry about what we're doing, bro.
so they
Come on,
just basically
that's
pull in a
crazy."
fish tank.
Essentially, yeah, essentially, it's basically a psyop. They're
Yeah,
psyoping the filmmakers. The filmmakers
that's sad.
who've been through this rodeo. It seems like
That's unfortunate.
they were just kind of like, all right.
It was like okay, so they knew what time it was.
Essentially, they still wanted to try to save the movie, obviously, because they sunk like fucking years into the movie.
Hmm.
Um, and we're into the next article. The price tag, the 80 million, was because the movie cost them a lot of money and additional fees, I guess, from holding the movie. So that's why it's 80 million. And what else does it say? Yeah, that's basically it. Basically, what's happening is that Warner Bros. Is trying to gaslight the filmmakers into thinking that they were doing the movie, and then now they're saying they don't want to do the movie anymore. They're straight up saying they want to put this behind them. They don't want to fucking think about this movie anymore.
Man.
So yeah, that's where we're at, man. It's like this movie. I don't know. I don't give a fuck about this movie too much. I'm not like tied to it too much, but I do think it's funny how they're moving. I think it's kind of funny how they're moving, like just being like, all right, we'll make this movie for 5 years, and oh, never mind. Oh no, we're gonna delete it. Oh, never mind, we're actually gonna sell it. Oh, never mind, we're just joking. You know,
Yeah.
tricking people like that is really scummy and crazy. But that's Hollywood. That's kind of how it's always been. Like I can't imagine they would do it anyway different because it's like even like Roger Rabbit, the original Roger Rabbit was like kind of like that. It was like you want us to mix live action and animation is like yeah, I don't know if that's gonna sell, and it fucking did amazing, obviously. But like like it's like that was a risk, you
Hmm.
know. Like this whole
Absolutely.
all movies are risks. So like these companies don't want to take risks. Like they want guaranteed money, you know. Like
Hmm.
they don't want to do that shit. Um, I don't know.
But that's very unfortunate for everybody who had a hand in this whole entire operation. But hey, what are we supposed to do? This is what is very interesting to me. How a lot of these, we see a lot of these problems and we don't see a call to action. You know what I mean?
um,
Because there's really
yeah,
not much
why?
for us. It's really not much for us to do because we can't really petition anything. Because we're at the end of the day we're talking about intellectual properties that does not belong to the people and
At all.
at all. And if it did belong to the people, they wouldn't even care about it. It's kind of
They would
like,
have if dude if Looney Tunes was public domain, they would have deleted this movie so fucking fast.
oh
Like this
yeah,
movie would have been in the this movie would have been in the ether so quickly. Like they don't give a fuck. It's because they
absolutely,
spent money on it. They're doing all this extra like mental gymnastics. You know,
yeah.
um, I don't know.
And
Like in your
mhm.
opinion, like what do you think? Like what do you think about this bullshit?
I think if you don't own it, like it's not your intellectual property. It's I get it. I understand that these characters mean so much to you, and you want to see it be brought into a new light. But at the end of the day, it's in the hands of people who don't care about it. And even if it was in the public domain, it'll most likely be drowned out by people who, well, how would I say this? Who will only use it to make a quick buck. Like, how many times have you went on Pluto and see like countless of Wizard of Oz movies because it's in the public domain? Most
Yeah.
there's mostly bad ones and the good ones, and the good ones aren't really going to stand out from the trash because we have a flood of new IPs or old IPs with new budgets going into the fray. And if you and I'd rather people focus on making new IPs and funding that, or just create something new that's inspired by the old, and we can all move on from this. Because I think my perception of this is that a lot of people's ills are being tethered to the past of better days of people who actually cared about what they worked on, and they don't want to let go of the and they don't want to wake up to the reality that the people who are in charge of your childhood, they absolutely hate you. They don't care about what you want.
Oh
they
man,
will
they would literally cook you in a fucking stew if
they
that meant
will
they could hit
they
their
will
bottom line.
burn your babies if it costs them like $5 or something like
They
that.
would literally stomp like babies out if it meant that they hit their bottom line. It's that simple. You know what I mean? And it's like expecting these companies not to do company things is just asinine at this point. Like you look like like you look stupid by even like implying that these companies should do something cool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like even talking about this right now, like we look sound stupid as we sound as R-worded as these guys are. Like you know what I mean? We sound as dumb as these guys are, dude. Like seriously, because it's like at this point it's like even having the conversation, like yeah it's funny, like you know we're doing it more for entertainment and to be like funny, but like
Yeah.
in all reality it is dumb. Like it's like asking a lion not to do a lion thing. It's like oh man this one's gonna be nice. It's like no they're not nice. They're a conglomerate of people who are all trying to make money, and they don't care how they make money.
And
You
it's
know what I mean?
yeah, it's a machine ran by people want who are in charge of what projects get let out of the machine, you know what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
like everybody within that machine, they're only as human as they allow themselves to be. And
Yeah,
the
it's
fact
like
of the matter is
yeah,
the only reason that they have inklings to humanity, I'm talking more about like the artists and the directors and the people who actually make the movies, that the head honchos, okay, all of them
right.
are essentially robots, and their job is to make product and make it is to make the product. The marketer's job is to market that product, and they don't talk to each other for a very good reason, because you need somebody that's disassociated from the product to find out the best way to market it. From that's what I've understood. That's what I've heard. From listening to multiple YouTube videos, so take that as with a grain of salt. So as I as I was saying, a lot of these artists and a lot of these directors and a lot of these creatives, they only give themselves autonomy with underneath the thumb of unions, I suppose. And when they and it causes everybody like production to slow down, which I think a lot of these issues could be resolved by everybody breaking up and making smaller entities so things can be done faster and cost way less money. Because do we really, like we said earlier in the conversation, does this movie need to be $50 million? Like,
Who
like that's
like dude,
insane.
like for the technology we have, we've come so far from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like
Yeah.
we've come so far from that. Like you could make this movie in maybe I like the most I'd say is 30 million.
Mm-hmm.
30 million at best. If you
Like,
get a good crew, I would even say low key. I'd even say I'd fuck it. I'll say it. 10 million. You could probably make this movie with $10 million with a good crew. Like,
we
dude,
don't.
like what the hell?
It's so very interesting, and I think people gotta make new things that's inspired by the old instead of holding on to the old.
Well, I mean,
Because like
yeah, you
that's
could
my
say
answer.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
not saying replace the old thing. I'm saying be inspired by the old thing.
Well, what I was gonna say was that like then you got to get into copyright law and shit like that,
Yeah,
and like how long they want to hold on to these brands. It's a lot of thoughts. There's a lot of thinking that goes into
I
this
understand.
that is like outside of the creative, like emotional aspect, and like you said, robotic. Like you
Mm.
do need the robots to be able to be like, okay, well, we get rid of Mickey Mouse in 50 years. Like, what can we make in 50 years to make Mickey Mouse worth being owned for 100 years? Like, shit like that.
I mean, yeah.
Um,
Also, like I said, the whole thing about public domain is that people usually don't care about public domain thing because the things in the public domain because it's most likely not going to be better than or as much of a touchstone as what originally came because I think the last time that happened was with Disney in like the 20s or 30s or whatever when he just made animation when he just made those like traditional golden age of Disney animated what was it, silver or bronze or whatever, like a very early age of like Disney
yeah,
animation
yeah,
where that was
yeah. I think it was
inspired by
bronze,
folktale,
right?
like fairy tales and folk tales. But let's be real here. When was the last time something like that really hit? I guess I guess with I guess DreamWorks has been doing that more
Yeah,
than
like
Disney has.
yeah. I don't know. I really don't know. Like I can't. I'm trying to think of like the last like animated movie that really like hit different. You know what I mean?
I guess Captain, like I said, DreamWorks is probably Captain Underpants because DreamWorks
Yeah,
are really they're still sticking with that, like making film adaptations of books, and that's shout out to them for that. I guess that's really cool.
yeah. Well, like Disney does that. Like, here's the thing. Here's how this works,
What's
right?
the last time Disney did that though?
Damn. Shit. I can't even remember, but they still do that. Well, here's how this works, right? Is that what will happen usually is that like Disney, Warner Bros, these companies get pools and pools and pools of spec scripts. The speculative, which is called a speculative script, which means a writer wrote it in their spare time. A lot of these writers are given prompts by their agent sometimes
Mm-hmm.
to write based off of already a thing that they can take and bring back into the light.
Right.
So like these new ideas and stuff like that, rarely make it in, but things based off of other stuff are more valuable. So they'll be like, "Oh man, hey, remember fucking Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Can you write a 10 act movie about Diary of a Wimpy Kid? All right, because we want to be able to buy the film rights to that and then make a movie out of it. You know what I mean? And we
Mm-hmm.
don't want to have to go through the author or anything. We just want to buy it. We just want that part of it to just be financial, and we want full control over the movie aspect. You know what I
Right.
mean? So write us a movie script so that we can buy that. And if your movie script is bad, that's fine. We still own the film adaptation to that book. So even if your shit is bad, we have that for like a period of time where we can make whatever we want with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, it's like they the reason why I think the reason why like DreamWorks makes a lot of book adaptations is basically because of that, where it's just like it's just easier to just grab a thing and like oh we can own this for a while, so we can basically do whatever we want with it for a while, basically like backlogging almost. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Disney does that anymore. I think Disney is just they're not even looking for new writers anymore. What they're
Yeah.
doing is that they're just going to the old guys, be like, "Hey, do you got an idea for a movie?" And they're like, "Yeah, fuck it. This is what happens if like water pipes could talk." You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
so
hey,
yeah, yeah. So they go to Pixar directly. they have a whole division for that, and that's just what
Yeah,
Pixar is.
yeah. This is like I think Marvel. I think Marvel does the spec strip stuff more than like Pixar and like other companies and stuff like that. I think Marvel does that. I forget where I heard that, but like they hire a lot of you know random guys. They're like oh man, look at this spec script or whatever. And like, all right, cool, we'll take that or whatever, and we'll just give it to somebody we like, and we'll have them fix it up or whatever. They do that a lot. Like Disney is very interior, but like some of their lessers, I don't want to call them lessers, but like they're the people under them, like the studios or whatever, they like going finding new guys. Like they like that shit. Like they like finding the new guys and putting them on and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like Disney, and like Disney when it comes to Pixar and shit like that, like Disney films or whatever, they go interior. They don't look for new people. They're like, oh, are you this guy's niece? Oh, you're the executive's niece. All right, yeah, sure. Like, do you have an idea for a thing? All right, cool. We'll give you a little $500 under the table or whatever. I want to give it to one of our senior guys or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's shit like that. Warner Bros. I don't know how they work. I think Warner Bros. Is trying to find new guys. Um, because they just did the merger, so
Uh-huh.
they're trying to pull in new blood, which is also why they did the we were talking about the RDC show or whatever, which is probably why they pulled those guys in, because it was kind of like, oh man, oh, new black people, oh man, we get to own black people again. Hey guys, come make a anime, you know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And then they fucking threw them in the trash or whatever. Um,
That's unfortunate. I'm not laughing because that's
it,
funny. I'm laughing because it's unfortunate.
it's unfortunate, but it's funny. It is
Yeah.
funny. It is funny to be like, oh man, we're getting black people, and they're like, oh, actually, you guys suck. You know what I mean? Oh, we don't want to make your stupid show. We never wanted to make it in the first place. And executives are that mean too. They're just like, oh man, this show sucks. We don't want to make it. They're not nice people. That's why again, they're robots, like you said, they're
Yeah.
robots, so they
I
have
just
to say nice
I'm just
first.
waiting for the chickens to come home to roost for everybody to realize a whole ecosystem made by people that internally just hate each other's guts. It's not sustainable.
It, I don't know when, but it has to, right? It has to
Yeah.
at some point, because the writer's strike and the actor strike opened my eyes up to the fact that even like the people who work in the industry don't really care. You know what I mean? Like they're
Mm-hmm.
doing they're yelling and screaming and stuff, but they're not doing anything real.
What was
So
that?
like,
What was that one actor that went on Twitter and he was like adding like not directors but like his like CEOs being like your home information is your home address is public information. It would have been a
oh, that's so
shame.
sick.
Like I forgot who said that. He said something like that. He made a very vague threat. Basically like
Oh, that's cold.
it's so, and of course nothing happened. Like
Right, but like that's what I'm talking about though. Like being that cool, being like, listen, dude, like I've been to your house for dinner. Like, let's not do this right now. Just give us the money and stop fucking with us. You know what I mean? But no
yeah.
one's that cool, and it's like I don't even know if like even asking that of people is enough anymore. Like you could ask that of people maybe back in the day, because Hollywood was new and they used to fucking bring like guns into the office and stuff and smoke and do like cocaine and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like maybe you could have asked that of people before, but now the way the system is, it's like nobody wants to break the system. You know what I mean? If we break the system, then we got chaos, whatever. And no matter what people say, nobody wants chaos. So we can do all the talking, the yelling. Oh man, well look at me, I'm throwing away Final Draft. I'm throwing away my computer. I'm not coming into work tomorrow. You know what I mean? We can do the
Yeah.
kind of like the performative stuff, but anything that real, like actually like go like doing anything like going to them, talk to them face to face and shit, they're not doing that, because that's too real, that's too wild, that's going to break the system. That will break the illusion of the fact that these executives have power. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if you break that, then you don't got a system. It's just how that works. You know what I mean? Um, but like even remember when, because me and you were talking about that writer strike and screen actor strike as it was happening, but even we were like, are you why would you guys even go through all this? Like, just take the deal. You know what I mean? Because it's like you guys aren't trying to do anything. Like you're sitting there like doing all this performative stuff. You're basically throwing a tantrum. Like literally like you're basically being a baby. And like the executives at the time said something like, "We'll let you die in the street" or something. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
something like real fucked up like that. And I'm like get out of the like don't work in that industry anymore. If someone's like literally telling you that they're gonna let you die in the street, don't work there or just take the deal. Like don't like sit here and like try to like bully them because it's not gonna work. They're just gonna give you what they want you to have. You know
It's
what I mean?
it's
And
so
then they
yeah.
didn't even make that much money. Like I don't even remember what they made, but it wasn't like anything crazy. It wasn't enough for them to justify that comment. At least I'll say that.
Like how that's so yeah. It's that really makes you think like how much is and like how much is a like respect like a lack of respect like that is worth where you have your bosses say I will rather see you die than pay you what you think you're owed.
What you think you're owed is what's funny because it is basically that. It's like, oh, you think you guys deserve this amount of money, and we are saying no, and we'll let you die first before we even think about giving you that amount of money. The fact that nobody quit, like everybody was still in the like still trying to keep their jobs after that. And again, like, is it cool to even ask that of people? I don't think so. But still, even playing that game of like that thought experiment of like you would actually would let your boss say that to you and you wouldn't quit at all.
No,
Like
yeah,
you're still in the industry.
what the crazier thing is that it wasn't even in confidence. It wasn't even in private. They said they aired that out and
In
like
public.
on
They
public.
put it in a press release. Like an executive told that to a fucking journalist.
It's
Like
like
they're like, dude, we'll let you guys die. Like
for it was like you can see the official official document for immediate release. You guys can I'll rather see you guys die before I pay you another cent.
exactly.
Sincerely, the
It's
guy that pays
crazy.
your bills, the guy that feeds your family.
The guy that signs your checks is saying, "Yeah, I would rather let you die if we give you another penny." Like,
Remember,
come on, dog. What are we doing here?
I'm just basically shooting out like some hard lines I'll probably write in the future.
Yeah.
It's like you think you feed your family, you don't. I do.
It's like I listen, dude. Like I own everything that you have, so I can take that away from you. You know what I mean?
You
Like
feed
it's
off
just
of my hands, and you take the scraps to your family.
yeah. It's like, I give you my table scraps, bro. Like, this is not what this thing. You don't have any leverage here, and they kind of were right because they took the deal. It was like I think the Screen Actors Guild kind of gave them a little bit of shit or something
Yeah.
like that. I think like apparently the executives were like, okay, we'll give you guys a good deal because you guys are the actors, and the screenwriter was like, no, you got to give us the deal that we want, and all the actors were about to like implode on each other, which is
Mm-hmm.
what they were trying to do in the first place. Like the executives, they're trying to make them implode on each other, which it did work, or whatever, because like the deal that they were asking for, if I remember correctly, the deal that the Screen Actors Guild was asking for, though, executives were like, fuck no, we're not doing that. We'll give you this, which is actually realistic. And the Screen Actors Guild was like, no, you have to give us what we want. And like a lot of top actors who are part of the Screen Actors Guild were like, fuck you, get that deal and end this right now. I have to go to work or I can't eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's another part of this thing that kind of like makes me mad. It's like, even your unions are like in bed with the executives and they're like playing this like girlfriend boyfriend argument of just like you don't even listen to me. I'm gonna go away. We're getting the silent treatment. Like, dude, that's fucking nuts, man.
Yeah.
Ugh.
What is your takeaway? What is your solution to all of this?
Um, hmm. uh, I have two. As
Mm-hmm.
much as everyone, if everyone gets serious about this system redux thing in the industry, not even talking about in American politics or anything like that, but in the Hollywood system redux thing, you you can't do anything performative anymore. You have to do some real shit, and that doesn't mean anything like terroristic or anything. Like you have to be going to their faces, like literally getting in their faces. Like we can't you can't do that performative shit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean, getting in their faces. and telling them straight up, like, no, dog, you're gonna do what we're asking you to do because like we run the shit, or quit. Everybody quit. Don't go through any unions or whatever. Quit over there. Create your own companies because you guys have a lot of money or whatever, and you have a lot of money through these studios or whatever. Take that
Not only
money,
money,
run your
connections.
own stuff.
Since every, I don't like you cannot tell me that you're working over there and you don't know another guy or a guy that knows another
Exactly.
guy.
Exactly. Exactly. You guys know everybody. Everybody leave. Leave those guys alone. Make your own studios and build each other up. Support each other. Make movies with each other. Studios collab or whatever. You know what I mean? Get together and make movies on your own. Make deals with AMC and stuff like that. AMC will take a deal. Like these theaters will take deals, like they're theaters. They all they do is just premiere the movie. You know what I mean? Make
Mm-hmm.
deals with these theaters. Be like, listen, guys, like we'll give you this movie for this amount of money. Just make sure this. Give these movies certain screenings or whatever. Whatever you do, you have to make. That's my first option. If you really want to do a system redux, you know what I mean. You guys actually have to be cool this time. You guys can't do all that fucking complaining you guys were doing before. You guys have to be actually cool. My second option, if we want to keep everything the same or whatever, um, I think people need to stop being so creatively. I think, people need to stop being so invested in the stuff they make for companies. And I
Right.
know it's gonna make everything look bad, but it's gonna save a lot of people from heartbreak and shit. And if human emotions matter more than the content, then yeah, we're just gonna have to take bad movies for clear heads. That's the second option, is that these directors and stuff are really tied to these movies and they get really hurt when these executives do the fuck shit that they do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that you if these directors and these new writers and all these people go into this industry, being less emotionally involved is going to probably do them better or whatever, and just the audience is gonna have to take bad movies. Like that's the only option. Like there's no way where you can make these executives be nicer, and there's no way you can guarantee your movie to be made. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like the only option is just like stop being so emotional about it. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, it's a job. It's another job. It's not a passion to me. You know? And it's like it's kind of cynical. It is cynical. I'll admit it. It's cynical. Being like, oh man, like movies, like movies don't matter. They don't. You should not passion in them. But like I said, like the executive said they'd rather see you die. Like, like what are we
Yeah,
doing
like
here?
they'll spend not like earlier in the conversation, they'll spend $50 million for something that they had really no effort in. Because
Yeah,
like you
which is
said
the really
in
big
the
thing.
article, like they didn't even see it. They didn't even see the finished version of the movie. They just had to like okay it. So like if they're that detached, and if everybody knows it only takes like a head nod for the for them to wipe the entire thing, that's that foundation is more loose than sand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you're literally in quicksand, like actual quicksand. Like you're just in quicksand. You know what I mean? And so like yeah, these directors and writers and hell, even the fans gotta really let that shit go.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have to get familiar with how this shit works, and they have to let it go. That's and like everybody will be happy. Like you know what I mean? Like the writers and directors are just doing their jobs and getting their money, leaving, and the fans aren't like looking for anything anymore. They're just like, all right, fuck it, like which is like a lot to ask for fans. You know what I mean? Because fans and stuff, they're emotional about these films and stuff like that, and they think that because these companies supply these films and stuff, they have to have the same obligations that the fans have, which the obligations of a fan is to be invested, you know what I mean, really want the best for something, you know what I mean? And these executives keep proving over and over again they don't give a fuck. They keep saying it out loud. They keep saying they don't give a fuck. Like they're trying to tell you guys, like, guys, please understand, we don't care. Like seriously, you know? And yeah, the fans just gotta like let this shit go, or
Yeah.
or or everybody has to start being cool. Like everybody has to be badass. And I know it's bad. Like everyone doesn't want to be badass. And even asking for that again, like I said, is like maybe you shouldn't ask for that. Like maybe it's a bad thing to ask for that because again, nobody wants to do the system redux. But if you want this to stop and you want people to care and shit, everybody has to be cool. Like everybody has to be cool. It can't just be like two, three people. No, everybody has to go outside, be like, fuck this, dude. Let's start our own thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
everybody has to be like, no, fuck that. Like, oh, Warner Bros, fuck that. We're gonna start our new thing, Warner Brother. That's what our production gonna be called. That's like an
Yeah.
Ice Cube. That sounds like an Ice Cube production company or something.
Yeah.
Warner Brother. It's like Rockefeller, but like for nigga movies.
Yeah.
You know? So like, yeah, but like with that being said, it's like, yeah, it's like we just gotta start our own shit, and we got to care about one another in that sense of like, oh, I see you started your own thing, how can I help you, how can you help me help you, or can you help me with this, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
everyone has to be nicer, you know what I mean? And like we have to kind of reset in that way. It's unrealistic, you know what I mean? It's asking for a lot for everybody, you know what I mean? But that's the only way you can fix that. Or stop giving a fuck, go into work, punch in, punch out, leave. And the executive says, "Hey, we don't like the scene where this lady gives an emotional story and really resolves her character arc. You need to make her say a funny joke." You're like, "Yes, ma'am. Oh, yep, she's gonna say a really funny joke in this scene and ruin the entire emotion of the film. Fuck it. Yeah,
Yeah, and
you
that,
said it. I'm gonna do it."
and then people will watch it. People will hate it. They'll be like, they'll have their own little quips about it. YouTube will make a run cycle about how woke or how right leaning it is or how left leaning it is, and everybody gets more money. And bam, the ecosystem is
Yeah.
found is keeps going.
Yep, the system is saved. Nobody has to go on the rap and be like, "Oh man, they really screwed us this time." Nope, nope. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Oh, you guys want Coyote versus Acme to be destroyed? All right, cool. As long as I get my severance package, I'm cool. I don't care. All right,
Hmm.
I'm going over to Paramount. I'm gonna see if they want this movie. You know what I mean? Like, you, we got to make it more of a system. People got to stop caring, or we got to be cool. That's two options. That's all we got.
Absolutely. But my second solution, and I think this is my favorite solution, if people go in the description, click on the latest update of Chimera Islands about a hidden island striving to find balance. You're watching it right now, or you can go on, or you can go look up Just a Reaper, type it in Google. You'll mostly find it on Substack. You can read all of it for free, and you can find out how different ways that you can have physical copies, digital copies. So if you don't, because you don't know, if things are digital, it's more susceptible to being erased forever and turned into lost media. So
Yes.
go read it now and plant it in your memories. Go buy physical copies. You know where to do, and
Yeah.
help
See,
the
it,
I wouldn't say help the indie ecosystem, help good content. That's what the world needs. The world needs good content, and you got it right here. Act now.
to add to that, if you don't want Just Reaper to end up like Coyote versus Acme, go buy it on Amazon because
Yeah.
we're getting really close to getting to Warner Bros. Levels. So amazing before. I'm like, dude, I don't know if we're gonna make it to chapter 4, man. This is looking kind of bad.
Yeah,
We didn't get
I'm
$80 million
saying
with the first chapter.
to save it, we need 1,000 copies. But
Yeah, we need 1,000 copies sold.
we need you to buy 1,000 copies. Tell your parents, tell your grandparents, tell your friends if you don't have any friends. Uh,
Make
go
some
on,
and tell them about
yeah,
the
make
book.
some. Go on VR chat and tell everybody about it, and make some friends. Just do everything.
listen,
So,
listen, guys. We're gonna tell you it's 100 copies. We need you to make 100. Actually, but it's 10,000 copies. That's how we're gonna do this.
actually, we need more money than Warner Brothers, Discovery, and Paramount. So, and we
Actually, I just got off the phone with Warner Bros. Discovery. The movies, the book is done. They
listen,
already canned it.
listen,
They delayed
guys. Is if everybody in the U.S. gave us $1,
it.
we might be able to make this.
If everybody in France gave us €1,
One
we can
euro,
really make
just
this work happen.
one. If everyone in America gave us €1, we could do this. We might do this.
Good lord, bro. All
Yeah. So
right, oh, very good one.
that's the whole thing. We got the plug out the way. Thanks everybody for listening in. Peace.
Yep.